Hello, dear FCC, WFSB, Fox Connecticut News, and various natures of courts and people on and off the state judicial branch offices, on and off campuses of each age are involved with racketeering acts with you. Like, for example, there's a detective Samuda who never arrested me. He switched names with a Officer Magnanos, which is distinct from the name Manos. All these people are involved with racketeering that also involves their confessions tied. One of them, the confessions tied to Stephen Manos, the officer Magnanos, with other East Hartford foreign and domestic police forms and private associated with racketeering with the Samuda family, with a whole bunch of people from my town involved with database racketeering since they were kids, involved with mail racketeering since they were kids, wire racketeering since they were kids. Now there's a DeMoro family and a Hanson family and a whole bunch of two Mendez police, a Kerr family, a Walters family, and other officers like an officer Jerry Miller and stuff like that, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with them with racketeering off the on off the Facebook pages, and with racketeering with overt criminal enterprises in the area. Also, the Witness Protection Program recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with the same houses involved with their wire crime acts, illusions. These are mail crime, wire crime rules. So this detective Samuda pretended I was in a hospital that he worked at, pretending he brought me there, pretending I was arrested. Now we have a whole bunch of people associated with him through time with sexual abuses on and off campuses of women and of girls. As women then further recorded, confessed, having had that translated as their emotions and passions and their fact achievements recorded roles with racketeering with child sex offenders as other natures of racketeering roles. These are courts with crimes with uses of a Cohen, also with East Hartford Police and with earlier administrations, military on off CCSU, also involved with them with racketeering, identity thefts, and frauds. People are from my town. That does not mean I had a conversation with them in the past. These are courts in our police forms attaching people to fake locations, attaching lies to them when they do actually record things true, attending fake recorded things into databases. A whole bunch of people have recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with racketeering also with this detective Samuda. Now, he made a facial appearance to women judges, black and white, no, involved with them with crimes with military police that are also Confederate flag and KKK themed that are also involved with racketeering into departments at CCSU and on off campuses through time with them. Not legitimately where they have the right to be break laws because they're training police forms, shared foreign and domestic on off campuses and private associated with that. Now, the important thing is to see how they're using these crime methods to prevent mandated law. That is also tied to their uses of the FCC, pretending to be against things with narratives that are recorded in collusion further with the principal sex offenders campus and with these other intercities police forms and doctors, foreign and domestic, further involved with medical racketeering, other natures of racketeering that are also in conjunction with and as their roles with World Trade Center families associated with a Chris Cullen, a Kerr family, a DeMoro family. All these families tied to the house slash S in my area with extended family members like a Phil Cololo and like a Claudia Scalora and like a Sabi Scalora recorded, confessed, and demonstrated also with racketeering on and off Weathersfield campuses with child sex offenders through the roles with other natures of racketeering juxtaposed with that and with the roles with untimely deaths and actors are involved with that with their natures of racketeering on off Trinity College as the ones with the house in my neighborhood slash S involved with them also with my new and past neighbors, which I don't know their names, and the past neighbors, their extended family members, and further with the untimely deaths. One of them, Terry Cleese was one, or Cleese or Lewis. They switch their names. That's one of the things they do interbranch: forge names, switch names, misspell names. They also have their interbranch Facebook pages and the Facebook pages of the campuses involved with them with crimes with proven child sex offenders. Now, these are recorded crimes of other natures of racketeering with them. And now these are people pretending not to realize by pretending fake things into court databases, and then pretending not to realize that that's recorded also. So they're playing stupid, relying upon what's in databases, and they're sequence shifting. Now they're making people go to courts so they can make more and more mistakes on courts in courts on purpose, because they also have even male and female, whole bunch of males and females from the British Superior Court alone involved with racketeering uses of CCSU in other areas before the Trade Center, who are then now and further involved with this, with these names since it. They have a Cohen also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with them with wire crime, mail crimes, criminal uses of inside, outside of courts, and with this detective Samuda. So we need to get a response for them forging and switching names, having attached me to fake locations with this detective Samuda. He switched officers' names with other departments too. They kept pretending they're making falsified police reports. There were also a number of Wethersfield officers who used the name McGee, and they admitted they only have one officer McGee, which is admitted as a threat because Interbranch forges names, switches names. These are also people with threats and recorded confessions demonstrated involved with their racketeering tied to further proven. It was proven after the Trade Center attack. There had been post-dated documents presented to a panel of judges in the Ninth Circuit right next to the World Trade Centers right before they had been taken down. Now, that was proven after. That led up to a 2006 case with a whole bunch of federal criminals proven in other cases that are also further then and now involved with racketeering with houses in my area and on my street, as the 1/S involved further with the principal sex offenders campus with their extended family members, with two Mendes police brothers, two and a whole bunch of other ones involved. I don't know if they're police or what they are, but they're recorded involved with racketeering, with police forms, and with overt criminal enterprises that the courts and stuff like that are also recorded involved with racketeering acts with. So we have to focus on the acts, and we have to also, they have uses of conspiracy theories. These are also people with crimes against Paul Manafort, and with where they left this out with their racketeering with Russians. They also have recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with the racketeering with the many people involved with racketeering acts with the detective Samuda. He's also involved with further child sex offenders, further with the principal sex offenders campus, that his wire crime roles and mail crimes and falsified police reports roles and human trafficking acts were roles with. Also with WFSB, Fox Connecticut News, and WTNH recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with racketeering with CCSU leading up to and in the Trade Center attack context, and since with the cover-ups of it. Now, so I don't know if they have him as victim predator or not, but he's a predator. A Cohen with the English department, with a whole bunch of other people with the English department and the students of them, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with interbranch from my town racketeering through time. These are uses of databases and of how they maintain roles with self-value database racketeering act sequence shifts that are simultaneously translated into locations crimes, self-value covered up, hid, illusions, maintain looking real, off campuses. And this is also translated to people all along routes through time involved with that, with racketeering. CCSU is involved with racketeering with the Moros on off places all along the South Steen Highway through time. And as the people involved with racketeering also recorded, confessed through time intercities at the end of exits. Now there's a John Mayano also recorded, confessed, demonstrated involved with evidence racketeering with them sequence shifts, confessions, and racketeering with locations like around the shopping plaza of Town Line Drive and all along businesses and locations next to Town Line Drive. These are also people with racketeering roles all along the routes that go to CCSU on off Paul Manafort Drive, involved with them with racketeering uses of that. Paul Manafort Drive is a guy that they've been putting in the news. These are people with Russians and Ukraine that are involved with courts and with prosecutors, like a Brian Silver. I never had a conversation with him. He's recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with a whole bunch of people from CCSU with a whole bunch of juxtaposed natures of racketeering, and with a with a Mayano family and with a Leahy family that also forged names, switched names as doctors, also involved with various natures of courts with racketeering leading up to and in the Trade Center attack context with way much worse tied to the proven sequence shifts handed presented to the Ninth Circuit panel of judges right before the World Trade Center attack in Manhattan. These are also people who recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with racketeering that is Washington, D.C. and World Trade Center, interstates tied, also intercampuses. Also, how CCSO has interstates, a whole bunch of people involved with California, involved with them, with racketeering, with military, and with interbranch, and with foreign and domestic military, like Kuwaiti military. They also have deans and their family members involved with the evidence of racketeering. They're pretending to perceive things, pretending to record things in conjunction with them lying when they hear me speak about their sequence shifts. They're actually recorded roles. See, they have the Facebook pages of New Britain Superior Court involved with the FCC with racketeering that is also tied to New Britain to Connecticut courts on off the state judicial branch offices leading up to and in the Trade Center attack context and leading up to in other cases that have are not even related to each other, but they're positing illusions. They're positing sequence shifts. They're positing identity thefts, frauds, and racketeering acts rolls further and further, originally and still. So we have people that are pretending to be about politics and like what to do, making plans and stuff like that. They can't do it. It's follow mandated law. I'll show you what to do. Now, it's also how we have a whole bunch of nations with shared policing of our schools, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. UConn, Wesleyan, Central Connecticut State University has a whole bunch of people associated also with the Olympics, associated with Clay Bay and his family. I don't know them. A whole bunch of people recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. I don't know if this is true, that he's involved also with criminal justice jobs and like people who run the prisons that are involved with racketeering with judges through time and with recorded, confessed, and demonstrated how they have all the locations of schools. They have locations of boxing gyms. They have locations of regular gyms involved with them with racketeering where they have sequence shifts. They pretend people had conversations with people that before they did outside of courts because they need to pretend things tied to their sequence racketeering in relationship to what is actually recorded on Facebook, what is actually recorded in interbranch. See, we have these are also people involved with racketeering with former director of the FBI and his co-defendants that are also involved with the same house, with extended family members further involved with child sex offenders and further with human trafficking and with forensics locations through time, the same families involved with identity thefts, frauds, and racketeering with their extended family members against me, involved with real estate crimes. Now, these are where courts and where police forms have to stay roles with various natures of racketeering, not for their legitimate reasons to, but so they could stay problems, so they could stay things coming to courts. They have to cover up how they were hiding from mandated law and preventing it. Sickly. We have originally and still criminally foreign influenced modern nations' identities law. Each modern nation sick as hell. So what we need to do is have mandated law followed. What we need to do is understand how the FCC is involved with interbranch Facebook pages and with intercampuses Facebook pages. Also, intersciences, the identities of the sciences are with many, many names involved with identity from my town, interbranch, involved with identity thefts, fake conversation with me, fake location ties. They're putting a whole more and more and more fake things in databases through time. These are also people with my new and past neighbors on off CCSU, on off Trinity College roles with connected untimely deaths, one of them on Trinity College. Also, they're involved with racketeering with the police online and with state police also, not just the FBI, also CIA and their family members, a whole bunch of other FBI, not just former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin. Now, these are people are with all kinds of medical racketeering and mental racketeering. Their delusions wrought while they're pretending to be mental experts with doctors that are crimes with child sex offenders and with their whole families, like a Leahy family. A whole Leahy family is involved with all medical racketeering together with the houses in my area, and with the Lombardo family. All I never saw in my area either. They're recorded, confessed, and demonstrated also involved with this through time with racketeering with agencies and with judges criminally involved. And with the database racketeering acts, they're inseparable roles from that. And with the Walters family, that is also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with a whole bunch of people in Washington, D.C., and with the World Trade Center that are involved with the Old Weathersfield locations involved with racketeering acts, all the way up from there, all the way to CCSU. There were a whole bunch of people so we have the vetting of information, of what's real and what's not, when all kinds of medical racketeering with this also all along that path. Now, people with locations around and as across automotive office also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with racketeering with Chris Walters and with his mother and with his brothers and with his sister, with this Lombardo family and with other houses on all sides of the high school, around schools in town, and that they live on the other side of Wintergreen in the woods, and that's also near a grammar school. These are one of the many the other grammar schools just in town as people involved with racketeering, collusion with racketeering acts on and off the ones intercities involved, like on off a CCSU magnet school on Franklin Avenue, further involved with them, with people involved with drugs, with kids through time, where they have that as the ones involved with identity thefts, also as ones involved with the private school kids that are involved with identity thefts with the interbranch kids, in collusion with them, with the same age, on off the campuses. They use crime methods where they know you're going to walk this distance from the database relationship. Now, even if, and they make, in other words, these are people making trouble to keep it blamed on other things other than themselves, making worse than criminal incompetence with each age of fact-cheating nature, with each identity of science. And where they share an identity, and the science reveals this, but we need free speech. So the FCC is involved with all kinds of drafting of legislation while they're already recorded delusions wrought and already involved with racketeering with that, with former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin down. This is through administrations. This is since before they used Comey and Mueller effectively to have people pretend they don't realize that they're involved with sequence racketeering with Comey and Mueller that is also tied to their further racketeering with the Ninth Circuit, since proven post excuse me, post-dated documents from inside the court have been post-dated to appear as if they've been handed in late to the Ninth Circuit right before the Trade Center attack. After that was proven. Now, the whole bunch of the federal criminal code defendants of Robert Luskin in a 2006 district court case are also the ones involved with racketeering acts on off CCSU, on off Trinity College, as ones involved with racketeering on off child campuses since before the Trade Center attack. The Facebook pages interbranch and intercampuses are also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with crimes with child sex offenders and with bonded natures of racketeering further involved with the child sex offenders' families, and them all involved with a whole bunch of bonded natures of racketeering on off the Southstein Middle School, other campuses in town, businesses and houses next to them, and on off religious locations, including Jewish community centers, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with a whole bunch of interbranch intercities, like East Hartford, involved with the New Britain interbranch racketeering with child sex offenders and medical. Now, there's a Darren, I don't know his last name, they're involved with the courts with wire crimes, mail crimes, And with this Leahy family, doctors forging names, switching names, and with nurses, also foreign and domestic, involved with the untimely deaths and the confessions that brought up the principal sex offenders campus, and the roles of New Britain Superior Court's Facebook page with that, and their racketeering acts and cases, and the racketeering acts and roles with depositions used criminally. Now there was also a Joshua Julian involved with them with that, and with the depositions leading up to the 2006 case with former director of the FBI, with him and his defending capacities, Robert Luskin, and his lawyer, Robert Cheverie, and the location of his lawyer's office at the time. I don't know if it's still there, whatever. That's down the street from the Harriet Beecher Stowe Mark Twain house. That's also recorded with a whole bunch of people from my town involved with racketeering with them with the courts, like John Mayan. Now, these are also people criminally preventing writing since I was a kid. And they're stacking and stacking more forged names, switch sequence, fake things, fake words to everyone, fake locations that attach me and my family and other kids and other people of each age to through time. These are also people involved, again, further with World Trade Center racketeering acts. These are also people with conspiracy theories and pretending others are making conspiracy theories criminally while they are simultaneously preventing the sequence shifts from being demonstrated. Now, there were a whole bunch of people from Puerto Rico and from other nations like Mexico recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with the World Trade Center racketeering acts, families involved with the house in my area /S. They don't even know how I know that, but that's what you actually recorded. So respond to them, because they have a Phil Cololo as one of the people involved with the extended family members who attach me to fake locations with them. He's involved with two Mendez police and with the Yagaman family, further with doctors, with crimes with child sex offenders, with human trafficking acts, and with the drug cliques with New Britain Superior Court, dozens of them involved with dozens of natures of racketeering juxtaposed. So we have to get them onto paper. Now they also have WFSB, Fox Connecticut News, and WTNH recorded, confessed, and demonstrating already having been locked into racketeering acts. They need to hide, so they need to pretend stupid and pretend not to understand people. So fix their fake news. They attach me and other people to fake words, fake locations, fake relationships to others, like with this Joshua Julian, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated crimes with them, verbal racketeering crimes, with the wire crimes and mail crimes clicks, and the crimes and cases clicks on off campuses, when as what was used to force one of the people forced the principal sex offender, Joshua Julian, with the Facebook page uses interbranch. They also have fake Facebook pages pretending to be me and pretending to be my family through time. They also have fake YouTube pages pretending to be me, pretending to be my family through time. They also have this involved with them lying about what is actually recorded on Facebook, interbranch, and through time, intercampuses. So we have the departments, IT departments also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. Like, for example, we have the English department recorded, confessed, and demonstrated in many ways involved with the racketeering all along that route up to CCSU from my town, and from the spot right where George Washington had to come, right before the last battle of the Revolutionary War, had to leave slavery with color, even overtly entrenched with the North, in the North, right here in Wethersfield, Connecticut, right between New York and Boston. He could only send me counter extort that. They didn't have free speech, and that's what secured the means for them to have a victory in the last physical battle of the Revolutionary War. See, we also have military racketeering, foreign and domestic, effectively having been kept criminally foreign influenced originally and still. This is through earlier administrations. They're forcing Trump to entertain their roles, or they're going to try to steamroll him. If he left and leaves to regular channels to solve things, those channels are recorded originally and still criminally foreign influenced. They can't do it. They can't solve things. They are recorded with our military, criminally foreign influence, delusions raw, involved with a whole bunch of nations, just with psychology, with all kinds of racketeering, physical delusions. You can't defend and tell American history at the same time. So fix their racketeering uses of Facebook. Fix their racketeering uses of you guys pretending to be about passions and emotions, honest or even capable when it comes to videos for child. I put this as this is about serious things because when there are child offenders, you tell the child offenders about them. You don't hide it too. They also recorded, confessed, demonstrated affecting kids, believing that they can't counter what and how through time the same groups, men and women, pretend lies with overt criminal enterprises. Pretend to, while they're pretending to be against it, those are people involved with racketeering acts with them, like drug crimes, like crime rolls with the tied untimely deaths on and off campuses. Many people recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with racketeering with this Joshua Julian interbranch. He's also involved with racketeering with the narratives in the depositions of the co-defendants of and of the associated people associated with as the co-defendants of former director of the FBI in the 2006 district court case, as the people involved with the racketeering from Connecticut since before the Trade Center attack and then interstates. They were first into racketeering with databases when they were kids. Fake. I never had a conversation with a Dan Keene in my life. They put me and him against him as running for school class president. Never got to make a speech. They just put that on paper so they could fake things. Now there's a Chris Cullen. There's like sexual circles involved with that. That's one of the victims, a family victims got. I'm sorry, Dean. Dan, I have no hard feelings for you at all. I don't know. I never had a class with you. These are people speaking through other people. A whole bunch of people tied to a Heather Hansen involved with CNN racketeering on off CCSU, right through administrations. There's a Elena Davenport also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with them with racketeering with libraries like Weathersfield Library has a Joe DeMore, has other people involved with medical and foreign and domestic families with drug crimes and with military racketeering, identity thefts, racketeering with time too, time imposition, sequence imposition. These are sequence racketeering natures. Respond for the rest of the Weathersfield police like this Demoro family. Recorded, confessed, and demonstrated also with a whole bunch of racketeering with Rocky Hill and with New Britain and with West Hartford through time relevant. Now, these are also people with foreign and domestic military, also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with spots on off highway exits involved with them criminally, like Town Line Drive. Now, let's get the judges and the prosecutors onto paper with them, FCC, with you guys too. Let's go. Chop, chop! Let's get a response for the rest of the kids being lied to by these fake leaders. That's a problem here. That's gonna be they're lying about my behavior because they're stuck now. They pretended they were worth what they are not. Nothing. They pretended fake things into databases. Me to fake words with them. We have some real sick men and women from my town, intercities, involved with New Britain Superior Court. I'm from Weathersfield, Connecticut. Now, on off the state judicial branch offices, also a whole bunch of people with a Fianza family with foreign and domestic racketeering on and off WFSB location, on off the state judicial branch offices, on and off the state prison offices, same house involved /S involved with them with racketeering, people involved with all kinds of confessions, racketeering roles with a Dillon family, with my new and past neighbors. Let's go. Let's get pick one name in sequence into branch. Get onto paper now. They attach me and my family to fake words, fake ties to other people. They use the locations into branch since I was a kid for racketeering acts. Same ones involved then with the Trade Center interstates. And since to hide it, like with this Leahy family, whole bunch of Weathersfield police recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved drug crimes with them with kids, forging names, switching names with them, mail crimes with them, wire crimes with them. Then they make confessions because the way they're using wire crimes, they make people call in fake complaints, and then they do a wellness check. These are also people lying about online. We have doctor that I never even met. We have one. I told him 50 times I don't want to have a conversation with him. Kept making confessions to me, tell me what he's going to do. No, like a Dr. Zeman. He recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. After they already recorded 3 times, they forced me into a triage because of my new and past neighbors' roles with the confessions. Everyone's speaking through other. I had to force someone to call the police without telling them why, which is my bad. But then plus also you can't record the police, and I already had them recorded legally. They recorded themselves, but I recorded them further that made them record themselves with this. Well, I've talked to you about them forging names, switching names. Respond to them because they also have the Wethersfield police chief standing and 1 years ago involved with the same house. And that police chief's got his daughter and his extended family members further involved. A whole bunch of people in their drug cliques and sexual circles involved further then and now with the principal sex offenders campus with roles with them. Now let's go. Let's get a goddamn response right now. Right now. And don't lie about my behavior because that's evidence too. I put that there for that.